Hello everybody, welcome back to some repo tips and tricks. We are in the second shop after level 2. We just got out of facing a hunter and an eye. Like I say, level 1 and 2 you get 2 enemies typically. I mean, there's a rare chance you'll get more if there's like 5 ducks that spawn or something like that. 3 slimers, something, along that enemy set. But usually that's a rare circumstance and you won't have a large enemy. You'll just have a bunch of little annoying ones. But yeah, we had a hunter and an eye. The hunter actually shot me, but because we got that health pack before, that health upgrade, we were not one hit from anything at that point, which is great, and that's why we got it. If he walks into you, he will just shoot you. It doesn't matter if he hears you or you move or anything. If he walks into you, you'll be shot, and that's exactly what happened. I was cornered, but we survived. So we're going to have to get a health pack. We're going to see what our shop has for us, and we're going to do round 3, another 2 extraction, usually with a much higher quota, so we'll have some more money to play with in the shop. Right now, no strength. That's tough. It's definitely not what you want to see, especially early on. Very tough. 11,000 for a 3 health pack, though, which is nice. Now, these are 7,000. They're a little expensive. They should be around 6, so it's kind of a give or take here. What we can do is grab one of these just to fill our health up for sure. I'm going to grab one of these just to have in case I get shot, because we don't have any health upgrades either. This is actually a pretty tough shop right now. Crouch rest is awesome, and I'm probably going to load up on crouch rest. Stamina, 4,000. Like I was saying last time, if I bought one of the staminas, it would go up to 3,000. So both of these would be worth 6,000 total. But I bought 2 of them for 4,000, so these are both worth 4,000 each now, so 8,000 total. It kind of works out, but at the same time, you want to maximize and get as much as you can, as cheap as you can. Same with strength, but, strength, if you just see it, just buy it. But yeah, 2 reaches again, not really what you want to see. The crouch rest, I am a big fan of crouch rest. It is a huge addition. 7,000, 6,000, and then an 8,000. And that's why we didn't buy that crouch rest at first. We didn't buy it because I knew we were going to get potentially more crouch rest next time. And so we got 3 of the level 1 kind of cheaper upgrade prices. Now they're going to drastically go up in price after we buy those 3, but to buy 3 of them at the cheaper sets, dude, that's a huge win. We're going to buy this too, just get the stamina as well. We'll probably take all this. I'm not going to try to manipulate the shop until later on. No guns, no trank gun, nothing like that, so that kind of sucks. But, yeah, we'll leave all this stuff. I usually don't get the wings or the launch. Now, they're both very helpful and useful, but just play the game how you feel comfortable. Like, people will tell you, do this, buy that, get that. But if you like using, the sword or the bat more than you like using a gun, get it. If you like using tumble launch and wings more than you like using speed and reach, get that, just play it however you feel comfortable with, of course. So we're going to buy that stuff. We're going to upgrade everything. And if we get another shop like that, we'll probably, like I say, you can leave and re-roll the shop when you come back in. Same with the maps, actually. If you get a map you hate, you can just leave the map and come back in. And when you load back in, you'll be in a different map. So make sure you put that away. Use that one. Now we're full health again. Take all these upgrades. I like to put my health pack in the 2 slot and my gun in the 1 slot. Backup gun in the 3 slot. It just seems a little easier that way for me. So I got my health pack in the 2 spot. I can just kind of reach up and grab that as quick as possible when I'm moving. Alright, we got the museum. So, like, if I didn't like the museum map, I could just literally jump out of the game. We could just, main menu it or quit game or something and come back in. And it might be a different map. You can re-roll that. And the shop, same way. Like I said, I don't like to do that. I like to just kind of play the cards I'm dealt. You'll find a way around it no matter what, but the shop has been a little brutal this time. It's been a little bit brutal. Something that I also kind of notice with the hunter a lot of times, on the last round, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this too, but he seems to always spawn and be right there, right at the beginning. I mean, he does not waste any time. We just, stepped into one room and he was right there. Kind of like, every time I play against a hunter, he's just right there. The clown always seems to be kind of towards the end. But anyway, this map is all about climbing. If you haven't played the museum map, it is basically like you need jumps or reach to make it as easy as possible. See, there's items up there. That's what the vents are for. This map is both the most unsafe and safe map from enemies because it's so wide open. These rooms are so big and usually don't have a ton of stuff to hide under. You can hide under some of the displays and like the edges of these tables, but they're still pretty visible. However, these vents, nothing can get you in there. So use the vents to travel up. Make sure you have the placement of these carts. So like right here is a great place to place the cart because you can look down from both sides and just drop the items right into it. Unfortunately, though, the basketball up there, of course, is an item that does not just land in the cart. It's up high, it'll bounce. It doesn't always take tons of damage when it bounces, but it does bounce. Something I thought for the longest time is that this liquid would kill you, because a lot of liquid in this game does, but nope. You are safe to travel in here. There's a few different vent layouts, too. A lot of information to go over on this map, actually. A lot of stuff. Then they redid all the items on here, so they're all original items in this map. There's nothing that doubles up anywhere else. Wow. Speaking of all original items, that is brutal to have up here. Oh, man. So I'll show you that thing in a little bit, but, like, watch this. So I can drop it in there, but it bounces. It just bounces around like that. Look at that. It's crazy. Oh, we got a shadow child. I could just tumble launch into him and knock him out for a little bit. So he'll be gone. He's our small enemy. He's our enemy that doesn't really matter. Shadow Child, for the most part, doesn't matter in general. It's just inconvenient a lot of times. He's the enemy that, like, if you're over a hole or you're in, like, that room, especially the room in the station where it's just nothing but, like, pipes and stuff that you got to stand on, it's so inconvenient because you can't see anything when he darkens, like, the room and everything. He limits your vision. I don't have an extra jump, so what I would normally do with this is just fall down and extra jump. But this is such an inconvenient spot that I'm going to try to just jump. Yeah, okay. So you'll spill that and lose value on it. There's really nothing we could do with that one, actually. And it's tough because like they give you extra value with these kind of things, but like with the martini glass, we could have walked back in there, but it would have, I mean, there's no way it would have survived either, because having to jump over those pipes and everything like that, you just kind of got to hope for the best when you're falling with it. If you had the extra jump, we could have cushioned the blow a little bit and done it in stages, but we just didn't have that luxury, unfortunately, with the shop. So we just take it, you know, like I say, this level's kind of trolly with some of the items, really a lot of the items are very trolly items. Alright, so we're going to actually move that card over here. This burger diamond here, burger gem, whatever this is, we will move it just into the extraction because it's right over this way. You know something interesting about the map? Every time I pull up the map, I think about this, but let's say you walk into a room, like this room, right? This whole room was one question mark, just like the other ones. But like if I walked into just this part, the whole thing opens up and illuminates. So if you are taken by the invisible guy, the like the dude that picks you up and runs you through the map, I always forget his name. I don't know why, but you know who I'm talking about. He can just pick you up and carry you. You don't even know what you've actually explored and what you haven't, because he just brings you to a room and everything gets opened up anyway. So that's kind of what the annoying thing about him is more than anything. I mean, obviously him taking you around sucks, but yeah, I really hate that I just don't have a pattern anymore. I'm somebody that likes to go room by room and take stuff. So like when he takes you, it's just so frustrating, so annoying. I feel like it messes up the whole flow of it. The whole flow. Alright, so we don't have anything small up here. We have that golden turd. The good thing about that is it's very heavy, but it's resilient. So like you can slide it across the floor no problem, and it just doesn't take a whole lot of damage, which is really good because a lot of these big items that you have to slide, they're so fragile and so easily damaged. That cube, if you touch it the wrong way, it'll take a lot of damage. Now, the only thing I don't like is that moving it down the stairs here, Because it might actually take a lot of damage going down the stairs. What we could do is actually get the cart and kind of line it up to take this thing. Yeah, okay. Sometimes the cart tends to go down the stairs, like move a little bit. But I think we should be okay here. Yeah, yeah. The stairs in Swift Broom, it moves down. These stairs, it seems to be kind of chilling there, so I think we're okay. Now, you can always do the, like, you can always spin like this. Rotate it, rotate the items. They seem to lose a lot of their, like, weight when you're rotating it for some reason, which is nice. But if you're on, like, very flat surface, it's hard to kind of manipulate those items a lot of times. I'm going to just actually take this around with me. I know I like to stage big items like that, but it's in the cart. It's such a pain to move around. I might just leave it for now. And let's see what the rest of the map is looking like. Bunch of more rooms going on here. This tower, yeah, see, there's an item up there. You can actually use some of the exhibit, like, placards and things to jump up and grab these items if you don't have reach like I don't, or extra jumps like I don't. It just gives you that little extra height. Oh. That's what I was talking about a couple parts ago. The frog, the plane, the car, they make noise and they attract enemies, but also, like, they'll just try to escape from you when you don't put them just directly into the cart. Oh, there's the frog. Now this run, since it's extraction 3 or level 3, should have 3 enemies on here. 2 smaller enemies, so we got Frog and Shadow Child, and then probably like 1 large enemy. I'm not sure what it would be. You can't really predict the enemies like you used to. You used to be able to predict the enemies. I don't like how much health I'm losing on the tumble launch. That never used to be a thing either. You didn't used to lose health tumble launching. Alright, here's the frog. Yeah, come on, look at me. Alright, he'll just do that. And, you know, just fly around and do whatever. So I'm just going to get out of his way while he's doing all that weird stuff. Oh, man. So we got a baby head there. Oh, come on. Damn. I was really hoping I could, like, hit him with that, but I did not. Oh, my God. You can kind of jump over him, too. I should probably crouch rest while I'm walking. I can get away from him while regaining some stamina. But, yeah, that guy. The frog annoys me so much because it's just such an in-the-way kind of enemy. And he throws your items around. It's just really a pain. Okay, so we got that room over there. A couple of items over that way. Now this thing, I was gonna like smash him with it because, like, if you have a Slimer or a frog, you can hit him with the items you have with you, and you know, mess him up that way. But oh, there's a Trudge. Okay, cool. So he's not too bad on this map. Trudge on this map just doesn't really bother me. He gets in your way, of course, but you know, big deal. You just avoid him. And since there's multiple extractions, I can just go towards another extraction and you know, maybe stage the golden turd there. Oh, there's a blender. Okay. So that's another one of those really trolly items that it's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be kind of a problem to move. It destroys value as you hold it more. And a lot of these items on this map just do weird things. That one is one of my least favorites. Alright, so check this out real quick. That's our... Let me look at this room real quick. Let me just tag some stuff in here. See, a lot of these medium-sized items, they're going to take up space in your cart. And we have, like, another one of those, like, toys in there. We have that golden turd riding in the cart, too. Like, a lot of stuff just taking up space, being in the way. It's pretty frustrating. Because there's, like, really tiny items on here and then really large items. But the value stays the same, of course, because, you know, why would it change? again, climbing map, you're always climbing. There's a hole up there because there's usually items that spawn up in that area. I like to set up the cart with less items in it, of course. There's a lot of items, so this probably won't work as well as it would normally. But, like, you can set up the cart to even with that. And then that should be right under the hole if you have items up there to drop it in. Let me grab the banana. See, it doesn't count as in the cart. It doesn't, like you would think this would be a bowl, you know? Kind of like a bowl thing, but it's not. It's just annoying. and like I was saying earlier, usually I would stage the golden turd, but it's just such a pain to kind of move around with those large items. If you can get them in the cart, it's kind of a good thing. All right, but yeah, so you want to just jump up these. You can crouch jump if you're having trouble getting up here. Luckily, there's nothing up here, because sometimes there's like cups and things. I had 5 items spawn up here the other day. It was like a stoplight, a cup, a baby head, and a couple of those little like toy box things. So frustrating. But yeah, see how it is? Like, you could just literally drop the items down if they are up here, right into the cart. And these walls are so like narrow. If you have something tall up here and you drop it straight down into the cart, especially if you have a reach and you can just gently like push it down into it, it won't be able to fall out from the side, so you get a little more coverage as well. What I'm going to do is try to stay on here, though. And I'm going to try to grab this thing. Excellent. There's the Shadow Child again. Just being as annoying and inconvenient as possible. Now, don't look at him. If you look at him, his arms come out, and he'll pull... See, look, watch this. See his arms coming out? He'll pull you. If you just don't look at him, the arms kind of go away, and then he won't be able to pull you. I'm losing a lot of health on this one that I don't want to lose, so... I'm going to try not to have to attack him, but... Oh, well, there's Trudge. Now, that guy will destroy your cart for no reason. Like, I mean no reason. If he walks into it, he'll just start smashing. But he's so easy to avoid that it's kind of like, yo, just move the cart out of the way. This toy makes noise and it attracts enemies, of course. It limits the respawn timer. It's so many items in this map do that. I mean, like, all of these items are just... They really overhauled this whole thing to try and make it as, like, tough and obnoxious as possible. God, that Shadow Child, man. I'm gonna have to get rid of him. Tumble launch into him. Knock him out. He'll be gone for a little bit. But if you don't, he'll just keep respawning. Something else that's been kind of bothering me about this game lately is, look, I'm not even touching this, and the items are just kind of jostling around in here. So you'll leave your cart, and if stuff's moving around like that, if there's, like, too much stuff in there, it will completely, like, just topple. And stuff will start flying out for no reason at all, and it just drives me crazy. Because I'll see, like, you know, money being lost for no reason at all. Our extraction is 15,000, so that's a pretty good extraction on round 2. That means there's a lot of money in the map. A lot of good stuff in here. We'll do some staging, we'll do some setting up, and hopefully be able to maximize everything we can get. Also, another fun little tip that drives me crazy if you don't know it. Oh, the frog's here. Damn it! Oh man, we are lucky he didn't. We're lucky he didn't get to fly all the way at us. He would have just totally wrecked our whole cart and everything. I heard him back there. I didn't know how close he was, though. I didn't know if he was just walking by or what, but... Yeah, if I grab the cart... Where is he? He might have just despawned. He just came to annoy us and then despawned. That's crazy. This item is so annoying, and it's not going to make it, I feel like. Save the valuable item, though. That's all that matters. Yeah, if you grab the cart from the... Oh, yeah, I didn't think it would make it. That's alright, though. If you grab the cart from the back like this... Oh, my God. There's the frog. Yeah, get out of here. It's in strong mode, so you can't lift it up or pick it up over anything. If you drive it over a hole... It'll just fall straight in the hole. If you pick it up from the side, it's the weak mode, so you can actually lift it up if you have strength and stuff like that. You can pick it up over holes and stuff. That's the difference between those two. Also, if you grab the cart from the back like this, in strong mode, it'll flip it around really quick, and sometimes that flings items, especially overloaded items like this, in a cart out of the way. So you got to be really careful about that. If you want to just move it to the side or just grab it in weak mode, it's not going to move as fast or easily, but it'll be a lot safer than flipping it around like that. So you always want to grab the cart from the back when you're trying to do it in strong mode. That way it doesn't flip around or anything. Like I said, we can kill the frog with an item. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's just obnoxious. I don't enjoy using items to destroy creatures with. It kind of bothers me. It's like, you know, it almost feels wrong, like you're, you know... it's just like losing value on stuff like that just always drives me crazy. I don't know why. It really doesn't matter, but it's always bothered me. So I don't do it too often, but you can take like any item and just hit them with it. You know, stacks of money work really well too because they're usually cheap, but also fairly durable for some reason. And like everything just kind of has its own property. The goblin heads on Swiftbroom are great for killing enemies. They're just so heavy and like they do so much damage. But here's what we're going to do with this baby head. We're going to throw it into the extraction because it's a really large and obnoxious item. And as you can see, its value is not that much. It's kind of like the big potion balls in Swiftbroom. Just like, you know, a mid-range value item. Really not even that much value, but still takes up tons of space. Nah, we're getting that thing out of there. Dude, this Shadow Child is driving me crazy. Get out of here, frog. I've had really, like, annoying sets of enemies where it's like the invisible guy. Oh, the hidden, that's what he's called. Jeez. Here's Trudge. And a frog. Man, they're just all over the place. Yeah, it's like the hidden, you know, we got a Slimer going, a Hunter. Just like really deadly stuff. Skulls. The skulls don't even do a whole lot of damage or bother me too much, but man, they always just show up at the wrong time, you know? Yeah, so I'm actually going to take this back here as well. Just get as much as we can into this extraction as possible so we can, you know, be as clear, free, and easy as humanly possible for this next extraction. Yeah, you know what? We could stage even another item here, actually. But for the sake of, you know, time and just keeping things moving, I'm just going to push it all in, and we'll just collect the rest of them. As you can see, I'm just kind of going front to back. Like, these rooms are all taken care of, and then I kept the last rooms kind of, like, blacked out so I can go check those later on. I kind of peeked in, you know, we took a little sneak peek at what we got coming up. That blender is going to be a real problem. I'll show you how to deal with that as best as possible. Because, yeah, it's a lot of the items on this map are going to be kind of like that same thing. But here's where staging the sack, like I was saying, comes in handy. I can just run this to the next extraction. Oh, there's an item down there. Yeah, I can just run this to the next extraction and then pull the sack out, and we can just use this cart totally free and empty for really anything we need to use it for. Alright, so that room doesn't do anything for me. We already got everything out of there. Yeah, there's that blender. So this is what I'm talking about. That blender's huge, and every time you touch it for too long, it wastes more value. I'm going to try to just walk by the Trudge real quick. As long as he doesn't lock onto me, we'll be okay. That room is not an extraction, and this room is an extraction. So two ways you could pull that blender over here. One, you could grab it, let it go, grab it, let it go, and slide it across the floor. That takes forever. It's tough. So what I like to do is just kind of throw it in or on the cart, and as long as you're not touching it, it won't blend, it won't mess up. Same with the stoplight. As long as you're like letting it go before it turns red, it won't do damage to you and it won't lose value. So we can stage the sack right here. What that means is like I can load this up, and then once that extraction's pushed, I can take the sack and throw it in there, and then just move the cart right in as well. Or, you know, the sack can start the extraction, or the cart can start the extraction. But either way, you're having it right next door, so you can just throw it in pretty easily. I don't want to, like, grab a whole... Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to. Since we're right at the extraction, I'm just going to throw this in here. I want this to be as just free and open as possible to grab that item. So this blender right here, right? Get the cart as close as possible. I'm not sure if I can even lift this because I only have 1 strength, but see how it turns on? Let it go, drop it, let it go. Now it's in the cart. And I can just gently bring it over. Gently bring it over to the extraction. It's kind of in here. It's kind of not, you know. But, like, it's right here now. And it'll push the extraction if I let it go. So I'm just going to... Just lost a little bit of value there, unfortunately. Because I accidentally let it go. That was all on me. I just totally accidentally let it go for some reason when I shouldn't have, but you get the idea. It's way easier than trying to bring that back by hand, because if you're carrying it, it'll just keep losing value until it explodes around $9,000 or $10,000. And it'll stop losing value at that point when it shreds all of its money in there. However, you just don't want it to be that point. You don't want to bring it to that point. Like if you're, you know... Hey, I just want to get out of here. Let's get this thing, whatever value it's at. Sure, I get that, but, you know, you don't want to tank too much of your value. Oh, here comes the frog again, because why not? We have a laser in here, so we could guide the frog into this laser, but really, you want holes. You want holes on the map. That way you can really just have that frog fly right into the hole. You know, line it up. Double jump helps with that too. I like to do it with jumps because if he hits you and you're in front of a hole, you'll go right into that hole too. So it's almost not even worth it unless you're like really prepared or set up. So the double jump, you can line the frog up on a hole, have him like fly at you and jump right over it. Easy. No problem there. So since this is all we got, basically I'm just going to take this, okay, slam it into the thing and lose value. That was stupid, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright. I don't want to hold that for too long. Oh my god, what am I doing? There you go. Like I said, we're going through the whole thought process, the good and the bad. I'm just trying to get out of here, man. I'm not a huge fan of the museum, and the enemy set is just a little annoying. So I'm like, get me the hell out of here. But... we made it, and we're going to get 50 health back from the bus, so we're out of here. As annoying as that enemy set is, it is going to be pretty easy to get back to the bus. You know, the Shadow Child's going to be just blinking in and out of existence and bothering me, but, you know, Trudge you can just kind of run by. The Frog, just hide for a little bit. Pretty easy to get around these dudes. I'm glad that we're seeing all the maps, too. Like, we have the station map left that we haven't seen, but... it's nice that we've seen a Headman Manor, a Swift Room, and a museum, and like gotten kind of the flavor of all these. A lot of information coming up in the next one too, because we'll be doing 3 extraction runs now, and that's pretty different. It's weird. It changes the whole feeling. Like 4 extractions are pretty standard, pretty regular. 2 extractions are usually easy because it's just front to back. 1 extraction, of course, you know, it's just the 1 extraction. You carry everything back to the front. But, man, 3, it's just so weird, and I'll show you why it's so weird. But, no, we'll come up with some questions and answers and stuff in the next one. We'll come up with some run details and things like that, and extraction. We'll talk more about the extractions, I guess, and strategies behind 3 versus 4 versus 2. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. If you have, again, anything you want to discuss or share or see, let me know in the comments. I'll make a video about it real quick. But I love Repo and I love you guys, and combine the two, it's a good day. You know what I mean? So have a good one, and I will see you in the next one, y'all.